Hey, welcome back to Rikame. I'm your host Kei. DMZ is finally released. It has been really fun. It has been a blast to really get to play and experience it for ourselves. And playing it for yourself really showcased what you can really do other than what we saw at the event. And just a heads up, if you was expecting it to be like Escape from Tarkov, it's not. It's its own type of mode. And that doesn't mean that even when it gets an economy and all that, that doesn't mean it will play like Escape from Tarkov. This is one of those type of game modes, just the way Warzone did it with battle royales. It's nothing. Warzone was nothing like other battle royales, and instead it had many different elements from other battle royales that made it its own. Therefore, Warzone itself stood out, and I think DMZ will be going the same route. Since Call of Duty is a very fast-paced game mode, naturally I think they developed a game that could keep that core fast gameplay, that arcadey feel, but at the same time adding in a little bit more tactical vibe to it. But nevertheless, this game mode is really fun, and you must experience it for yourself. But today we're not talking about that. This is not a review. I want to make sure that I have my hands on it for a couple of more days as many of the bugs and different things become fixed, so therefore I can give my honest opinion about the complete game. So today's main core focus is a solo guide. DMZ is not necessarily meant to be played solo, but you can play it solo and play it successfully. Since DMZ is a sandbox mode, I don't think what I'm talking about today will help everyone, but it will help some people that run solo. For myself, I like to play more tactical, and I'm also a hunter. I like to hunt down other players and try to do it successfully, taking their gear and weapons, which has been a blast. So yeah, stick through the video. You might find something very useful for you, but if not, we still have plenty of time. It's a free to play game mode, so therefore we'll run to many different situations that may be able to help everyone that's trying to play this type of game mode. So first, focusing on solo only. I would like to show you a bit of gameplay that I did and show you how I traverse Al Mazrah while playing DMZ. So the first thing you have to know, when you drop in, you don't have to focus on just moving really slow, but tactical. Tactical doesn't always mean slow. Tactical just simply meaning you want to think about what you're doing before you do it. Anytime you're playing DMZ, you don't want to make a move until you know what move you're trying to make. So usually when I drop in, I try to find the best spot near me for the best loot. So whether you have a gun in hand or just fists, you still want to make your way to the nearest loot possible and try to avoid any AI or any other players. This is simply because if you don't have tier 3 armor, nor do you have a good meta weapon, running into bots and or players could make you lose your loot quite fast. So what I suggest, have mission in mind and know where you're looting. That's the first thing. I take out AI with headshots only. You don't want to make too much noise. Just like in campaign, you can sneak around the AI. You can be more tactical. You do not have to go loud all the time. If you can set up a distraction or anything, then do so. So my main mission was to go and get the M13B solo. Now, they may seem impossible for people, but that doesn't mean that it can't be done. That being said, if you're going to do it, remember, other players are also doing it as well, and probably with a full stack team. So as you will see here, I jump on a train, I loot what I can. I found a sniper, and speaking of a sniper, when playing solo, you always want to have at least one sniper on you. Yes, you could carry 3 guns, so if you have an extra slot free, carry a sniper on you. It's very important to take on enemies from a distance. It keeps you hidden even from real players, but the AI themselves are more likely to spot you, so therefore you need to take them out quick if you're using a sniper, and try to use a silencer. When trying to take down players and or AI, try to separate them so you can take them down more efficiently. If you see people in a group, it's best not to attack because they will know where you are. Now that being said, you will see here, I was checking out the radiation to make sure players wasn't already in there. And behold, there were plenty of players there. So therefore, I took my time, I watched different people, and I took them out separately. And again, if you see a bunch of people crowded together, I wouldn't really take that fight unless you really have the upper hand.
You suck!
Now, after taking out those players, I was thinking about getting some of their loot and taking it back with me, but when I realized that there's too much activity going on within the zone, I decided to back out. Now, this is not Warzone. You do not have to take the fight. If you want to, it's your choice, but you might lose everything and you might lose a lot of your progression. Spending all that time just to lose everything, it could hurt. That's what gave me the Tarkov vibe. So, what I did, I simply jumped in a truck and I got out of there as fast as possible before anybody could discover what I was up to. And I extracted successfully. Now, for my second attempt, I hit it straight for the gas. I heard other people fighting, so I knew people were in the zone already. So what I do, I decided to scope out the zone, figure out where everybody was, figure out who was shooting what, who was shooting where. I really made sure no other snipers was around. So I got in the building and I just watched. After hearing the gunfight calm down just a little bit, I decided to take another route around the gunfire.
Tell me where they are.
When I did that, I noticed there was a player by himself, but I wasn't too sure. So I took him out. I didn't fully kill him, and instead I checked to see if any other players was around. I wasn't too sure, so I just checked the vicinity to make sure nobody was near him, and I interrogated him just to see where his partner was. I was going to chase down his partner, and I realized that he probably already got away. Went back, got the guy's loot, realized that his partner already got the M13B. I then decided not to spend too much time there. I simply end up getting more loot and more gear that I needed, and just got the heck out of there and extract it successfully. Now, another time around, I really want to show y'all what PvP is like for a solo within the DMZ and fighting against a full team. As I said, you really want to separate the team. You really want to watch your surroundings. I was hearing gunshots. I wanted to follow the gunshots. I made sure that I stayed in cover. I made sure nobody knew where I was. As I said, tactical. That don't mean you have to move slow, but you have to be paying attention what's around you. Now, when I noticed there was a team fighting someone else, I wanted to make sure they wasn't fighting another team, which then that's just taking on 6 people or probably more. Don't DMZ is very sandbox. We don't know how many people could have been fighting. But when I noticed they were just fighting bots, I took aim at the first person and I shot him. After dropping him, his partner popped out and ended up dropping him as well. Now I was unsure if there was a full squad or not. So therefore, I wanted to approach it more carefully. And if there was another squad, I wanted to be sure that I was being more safe. I was going to fully kill the players, then I realized I must interrogate them. One player killed himself, so therefore I only had one player left. I checked my surroundings, realized I seen nobody near. I tried to interrogate him. But what I didn't notice is that his partner was already trying to arrest him, and he was laying under him. So when he pinged on the map, I thought it was just pinging the player that I interrogated. So his partner dropped me. Now, I wasn't dead, which he could have finished me, and this was just really lucky. I end up rezzing, and I end up getting cover. I want to make sure that I was fully locked and loaded for the inevitable fight. I listened for their footsteps. I wanted to make sure that I could separate them, but at the same time, bots was getting in the way, which was really good on my part, because hearing a lot of gunfire confuses the enemy, and they can't really tell whether you're solo or not, so they also have to play careful as well. So that gives you the opportunity to keep your cover, keep your cool, listen, and start taking out the enemy one by one. And if you're not running any metas while being a hunter in solos, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And like I said before, you'll be encountering multiple enemies, so you want to be able to drop them as fast as possible, have enough bullets to do it, and make sure that the job is very efficient.
Will! Piggy! Where are they?
Now, one of the leaks said that you'll be able to start a dog tag collection. That's something that haven't came within season 1, and since this beta could be implemented in the future, but still I decided to take the player's dog tag because that's something that I like as a hunter. And after I wiped the squad, I end up finding a really good gun. Now this is something I think that needs to be changed. I picked up the player's gold gun, but when I extracted with it, it was no longer gold, nor had the stickers on it. And that's something that I felt was really unfortunate. I feel when you extract with a blueprint gun or a gun that you found off a player, it should be that exact build and that exact skin. Simply because it makes it more cool and gives it more valuable for going for guns in other blueprints. But beyond that, I really had a blast and it was really fun to take out different teams. Now some more things about playing DMZ, whether you're with a team or solo, these are some key things that you really need to know. And that is that missions are very important. You really want to unlock different missions, you really want to progress in different things like that. This simply allows you to level up guns faster and unlock weapons if you don't have all the weapons unlocked, especially when we start learning more about metas. You want to be sure that you have all your weapons unlocked and all the gear that you need. Unlike other extraction shooters, you don't get to save armor, you don't get to save backpacks. When you die, you lose everything. So dying in this game mode meaning you have to start all over again. And if you're a hunter like me, so if I die, that means I have to go get armor again, I have to go get a big backpack again, I have to make sure that I have enough to carry at least 3 weapons on me, especially like I said before, a sniper. I have to make sure that I'm fully kitted out to take on other players. Now, if you're not solo, it is less stressful. And speaking of weapons, that's another thing. If you haven't unlocked all the weapons and you want to infill whether you're solo or with a team, try to come in with one gun slot empty. Now this allows you to take weapons off of AI and or other players to bring it back to unlock that weapon. And I know I said before you always want a sniper on you, so if you could just bring a sniper then that's good, but that's just solo only. You could just go snipe an AI, pick up his weapon, and then move forward with your mission. Another thing, if you're starting off and you have a small backpack, the best thing to do is just loot, get enough money to buy you at least a medium backpack, but only if it's safe. Remember, doing all this and you die, you just have to do all this all over again. So you loot, you want to be safe, you want to get out of there with all your loot, and then the next infill you could start hunting players. You don't want to do all that within one game simply because of the timer. This is going to put you at a disadvantage, especially as a solo, because when you're playing as a solo, one important thing you need to know, and that is you need to exfil earlier than everyone else. You do not want to run into exfil with a fully kitted out team. You will die unless you have the element of surprise and you have good gun skills. Proc chat in DMZ, especially as a solo, is a really cool feature. It could allow you to get out of some fights that you really can't take, especially if you have something valuable on you. And there's been a couple of times where I had to talk myself out of a situation, and they surely let me go. This is something that I wish I had recorded, but sadly it didn't record. But I'll be sure that I'll be recording if I get more content like that, because it was a really cool situation. Now this is some of the key things that you need to know while playing solo in a DMZ. For many people, I really wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend that you have a team with you. But if you're a person who can't help but play solo, I recommend that you implement some of the things that I'm telling you. It'll keep you from losing many games and exfilling more successfully than usual. This is something that I hope they add in barracks, is how many times you exfil versus how many times you died. And I think tracking those stats would allow people to optimize their gameplay to fit them best. But yeah, if you find any of this stuff helpful, please let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button. And if you want to continue to learn more about DMZ, about different guides, whether you're playing solo or with a team, we'll be doing a lot more of that on this channel. So if you like any of that, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We will continue to drop content on DMZ and possibly other things Call of Duty. I thank you all for watching. And again, I'm your host Kei, and I will see you in the Exclusion Zone. Bye.